Good morning to you. Shabbat Shalom. And welcome to each of you on this beautiful Shabbat morning as we worship together, celebrating Shabbat, and as today we enjoy the Bar Mitzvah of Sammy Smith. And so to you, Sammy, we offer our wishes of Mazel Tov to you and to all of your family and your friends who join you in celebration on this day. We certainly extend those warmest wishes to Sammy's parents, to Michelle and Tom, and to Sammy's brothers, Benjamin and Joshua, and to Sammy's grandparents who will be participating in our service today, to Carol and Donald and Dan. We wish each of you Mazel Tov as you celebrate together. We're also pleased to welcome to our Bima Suvus, who is representing our Board of Trustees, and she'll be participating in today's service. And we're pleased as well to have joining us on the Bima and helping to lead us in our music this morning, Alana Bell, and Chris Kuhn, our organist. So we will begin our service in song with the singing of Hine Matov. You will find the words in our prayer book, and before we do turn to that page, let me take this opportunity to, especially for those of you who are our guests, to help familiarize you with our prayer book. On the right-hand side of the pages, you'll find the Hebrew prayer and the transliteration immediately adjacent to it. That's on the page marked A. That way, whether we're singing that prayer or whether Sammy is leading us in that Hebrew prayer, we can all join in. The translation, the meaning of that prayer is also on that A side of the page. And on the left side of the page, the B side of the page, you'll find 3 readings that reflect the theme of that prayer. Sammy, who's leading most of our service, has chosen the selection mark number 1, so that will help you to find your place a little easier on that page B, the left side. So let's turn to 11B now. Page 11B, at the bottom of the page, you'll find the words for the singing of Hine Matov.
Sometimes it seems that day after day and week after week, we go about the earth seeing nothing. Wonders without number surround us, but we are oblivious. Our eyes are open, but our sight is dulled by petty concerns. We yearn for wisdom, yet miss the opportunities for enlightenment all about us. So let us pause a while and seize these Sabbath moments. Open our eyes, O God, that we might contemplate the wonders we overlook. Awaken us to your glory that fills all time and space. Be praised, O God, for the gifts of prayer and life. We continue on page 69B. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We continue on page 71. Please rise for the Bar Mitzvah. Adonai Hamvarach. Praise the Lord, to whom our praise is due. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Praise be the Lord, to whom our praise is due, now and forever. Covers the earth like a shroud. Praise to you, O Lord, for words that speak to our minds, for songs that lift our spirits, and for all the souls who know how to listen. Let us imagine a world without order, where no one can predict the length of the day or the flow of the tide. Praise to you, O Lord, for the marvelous order of nature, for the stars in the sky, particles in the air. In each age, we receive and transmit Torah. At each moment, we are addressed by the world. In each age, we are challenged by our ancient teaching. At each moment, we stand face to face with truth. In each age, we add our wisdom to that which has gone before. At each moment, the knowing heart is filled with wonder. In each age, the children of Torah become its builders and seek to set the world firm on a foundation of truth. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty, now and forever. Lema'an tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem lelohechem, ani Adonai Elohim. Together, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I, the Lord, am your God, who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I, the Lord, am your God. The Exodus is a quest for freedom, the freedom to worship God. Yet in worshiping God, we take on a responsibility. Indeed, freedom and responsibility are intimately related. Freedom is a necessary condition of responsibility, and the assumption of responsibility gives worth and meaning to freedom. Please rise for the Amidah. Adonai Sifataif Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. The answer to our prayer may be the echo of our resolve. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, V'Karnei Hakol, V'Zocher Hasdei Avot V'imahu, Umevi Geula, Livnei V'Nehem, L'ma'an Shmo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshiach Umagen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Israel Sad. Our God and God of our fathers, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Amos, Isaiah, and Micah, a heritage has come down to us along all the painful paths our people have traveled. Our God and God of our mothers, God of Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, Deborah, Hannah, and Ruth, a heritage has come down to us. When others worship gods indifferent to goodness, our mothers and fathers found the one whose law unites all people in justice and love. A heritage of faith has come down to us out of the life of our people. When knowledge was the secret lore of princes and priests, our sages opened their doors to all who sought understanding. A heritage of learning has come down to us out of the life of our people. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol Atah Rav Lechoshia, Morid Hatah, Mechakeh Hayim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Beracha Rabim, Somech Noflim, Virofei Cholim, Matir Asurim, Kayem Emunachto, Lishinei Afar, Micha Mocha Be'al Guru, Dome Lach, Melech Mimi, Kaye, Matmiya Yeshua, V'ne'e Man Atah L'Chachayel Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol. God, teach me how to be your agent, your messenger of help to the needy and comfort to the afflicted, a companion to the lonely and an encouragement to the faint of heart. Teach me that this is the wisdom you would have me know, the eternal wisdom that brings life and light to the soul. Greater still that we know that our life is a gift. Slowly, uncertainly, we have emerged out of the endless, patient work of creation. We therefore give thanks for life and sing the Creator's praise. Let us exult in Shabbat, symbol of creation's joy, reminder and promise of the world we shall slowly build. Please be seated. We sanctify time when we believe in people, but we do not expect more from them than we are prepared to give. We sanctify time when we welcome pleasure, but we realize that we miss the true meaning of life if pleasure is all we pursue. We sanctify time when we strive to acquire new ideas, but we also strive to surrender old prejudice. We sanctify time when we work for material success, but we also treasure the things that money cannot buy. We sanctify time when we yearn to be loved, but we also strive to make ourselves lovable. We sanctify time when we pray as if everything depended on God, but we act as if everything depended on us. The gods we worship write their names on our faces. Be sure of that, and we will worship something. Have no doubt of that either. That which dominates our imagination and our thoughts will determine our life and character. Therefore, it behooves us to be careful what we are worshiping, for what we are worshiping we are becoming. We thank you, O God, for life and love, for an awareness of the beauty of creation, yours and ours, for being part of your plan in your world, for being able to assume responsibility and to know fulfillment, for being your presence when we are lonely or afraid, for being able to dream and to hope, to reach out and to grow, to help and to care, as we seek to draw ever closer to you. Grant peace, O Lord, to each of us, the peace that comes from a firm faith in you. For so it is written, you will keep in perfect peace those who trust in you. Grant peace, O God, to your people Israel, the peace that comes from strength of spirit and resolve. For so it is written, the Lord will give strength to our people. The Lord will bless our people with peace. Grant peace, O Lord, to all men, the peace that comes from creating a kind and just society. For so it is written, for the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness calm and confidence forever. We continue in silent prayer and personal meditation.
the Torah, page 86. O Lord, you revealed yourself amid Sinai's thunder and lightning, but the still small voice of your law is heard above Sinai's thunder, and your righteousness shines brighter than Sinai's flames. As we seek to grow and as we seek to learn your truth, your law, and your will, you reveal yourself to us anew. And all the knowledge thus revealed is as the echo of your voice, which our ancestors once heard at Sinai. O Lord of wondrous revelation, reveal yourself to us. Open our hearts to your great love, our eyes to the beauty of your world. May we be ever grateful for the knowledge of your truth and of your Torah, so that the teachings of our prophets and our sages may come to enrich and guide our lives. Please rise. This is the Torah, Israel's consecrated banner of truth and of righteousness. Throughout the ages it has been passed from prophets to sages to our own time. Now at this moment of Bar Mitzvah, do we pass the Torah from generation to generation to generation, from grandparents to parents to son, with the hope that throughout his life Sammy will study Torah, and from that study draw strength, insight, and spiritual sustenance. Declaration of faith throughout the ages. Then we rejoice in Torah together before its study begins. For if the Shema proclaims our faith in God, Torah symbolizes our response to God, our personal commitment to a life of faith. We bring Torah into the congregation because it belongs to all of us. And when we bring Torah into our lives, we embrace God's expectations for us. In our belief, our study, and our deeds, we bring God's light into the world. Seeking that light, we affirm our faith now as together we say, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one.
The
Torah portion is about following the commandments and how, according to Moses, if our ancestors followed the commandments, they would be rewarded. I immediately take this to suggest that if we do good things in our lives, we can very often receive positive things in return. I don't take what Moses said literally because we know that sometimes tough things happen to people who follow the commandments. But that doesn't mean that bad things happen to good people on purpose. Even though I don't take what Moses said literally, I still find meaning in what he says. I think that overall, we should just try to do our best and control what we can control. I believe that if you follow the commandments, the reward might not be instant. It might take a couple of tries to get something in return. I believe that this law encourages people to do good things. When we see others following the laws, it encourages others and might inspire others in the future to keep doing good. One other subject in my Torah portion is about a speech that Moses gives to the Israelites. His speech tells them to prepare themselves to work hard. They are about to enter the land of Israel, and if they see anyone trying to take away their share of the land, they can defend themselves. One major lesson that you can take out of the second part of my Torah portion is the idea of standing up and not letting anybody take advantage of you. When our ancestors are preparing to go to Israel, they are scared because they remember back to the last time they had a homeland, which included being slaves in Egypt under Pharaoh's rule. But after Moses gives them a pep talk, they start to get some faith and decide to continue onto their new homeland of Israel. They will keep on trying until they find a place of their own. My Torah portion can connect to modern day life in a couple ways. First of all, it talks about standing up for yourself. An example is standing up for someone who's getting bullied or someone is doubting you. Do not listen to them, but continue to believe in yourself. The second way my Torah portion connects to real life is by reminding us to have some faith even when you are struggling. In our world, that idea can work in a couple ways. First, for example, if you have a hard test or a challenging basketball game, just have some faith and confidence. You have to try to make the best of your situation, even if you are nervous or scared. I will be reading from Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 12 to 20. You can follow along the translation in your Shabbat pamphlets.
Called to the Torah for the honor of the aliyot, the blessings for the reading of Torah on this Shabbat morning will be Sammy's brothers, Benjamin and Joshua, and their uncles, Richard and Roland.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah.
והיה עקב תשמעו את המשפטים האלה ושמרתם ועשיתם אותם ושמר אדוני אלוהיך לך את הברית ואת החסד אשר נשבע לאבותיך ואהבך וברך והרבך וברך פרי בטנך ופרי אבותיך וגנב את ירשך ויתערך, שגרפך והשרות שונאך על האדמה אשר נשבע לאבותיך, לתת לך ברוך תהיה מכל העמים, לא יהיה לך עקר ועקרה ובהמתך.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
וכל מעשה מצרים הרעים אשר ידעת לא ישימם בה, ונתנתם בכל שונאיך והכרת את כל העמים אשר אדוני אלוהיך נותן לך, לא תחוס עיניך עליהם ולא תעבוד את אלוהיהם, כי מוקש הוא לך. כי תאמר ירבך רבים הגויים האלה ממני אחד וכל לכורי שם.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורה אמת וחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
לא תירא מהם זכור תזכור את אשר עשה אדוני אלוהיך לפרעה ולכל מצרים המעשות הגדולות אשר ראו עיניך והאותות והמופתים והיד החזקה והתרועה הטויה אשר הוציאך אדוני אלוהיך כן יעשה אדוני אלוהיך לכל העמים אשר אתה ירא מפניהם, וגם את התרועה ישלח אדוני אלוהיך בם עד עבוד הנסרים והנסתרים מפניך, לא תערוד מפניהם, כי אדוני אלוהיך בקרבך אל גדול ונורא. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורה אמת וחיי עולם נתן בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Haftarah portion I will read is taken from Isaiah chapter 50, verses 1 through 4. You can follow the translation in your Shabbat pamphlets. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzav v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael amo u'v'nvi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek. Ko amar Adonai et se sefer karitu imchem asher shilachtia omi minoshah asher mecharti etchem lo hein ba'avonotechem nimkartem ufi shechem shulcha imchem madua bati ve'en ish karati ve'en onne Hakatzor katra yadi migdu ve'im ein bi koach lehatzil hein baga'arati ahariv yam asim neharot midbar tivash degantam me'en mayim v'tamot batzama albish shemayim kadru V'sag asim, ketutam Adonai Elohim, nantan li, loshon limudim, lada'at la'u, et ya'ef, devar ya'ir, baboker, ya'ir li, otsein lishmoa kalimudim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, Zur kol haloamim, Zadik b'kol hadarot, Ha'el ha'ne'eman, Ha'omer v'esei, Hamadaber kayim, Shekol devarach emet v'tzedek, Al haTorah, Ve'al ha'avodah, Ve'al hanvi'im, Ve'al yom ha'shabbat hatzeh, Shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Likdushav le'nucha, Lechavod u'tifaret, Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umvarchim otach, yiprach shimcha b'fi kol had, tamid le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat. Becoming a Bar Mitzvah means many important things to me. It is the day when you celebrate officially becoming a responsible young adult in Judaism. It is also the day when you get to read from the Torah for the first time and have all your friends and family there to celebrate with you. I have learned a lot throughout this process, from learning trope marks so I could chant my Torah portion, to getting fluent with the important prayers and understanding how it all ties in to becoming a Bar Mitzvah. One of my responsibilities as a young Jewish adult is to become a leader in my community. I am ready to take this next step. In my Jewish future, I am looking forward to taking what I have learned from all my months of tutoring and using that knowledge at other B'nai Mitzvahs and other temple services that I will attend. I'm also just looking forward to keep on learning new ideas about Judaism. One important lesson I have learned in my study of Judaism is the idea of giving back. As my way of giving back, I will be donating a portion of my Bar Mitzvah gifts to the Why Not Foundation. The Why Not Foundation is an organization founded by my favorite basketball player, Russell Westbrook, who played for the Oklahoma City Thunder, but after the recent trades, he's now playing for the Houston Rockets. But we'll save that sore subject for another time. The idea of this foundation is to give kids who are less fortunate some sports equipment of their own so they can start playing like the pros. I chose this foundation because I'm a huge fan of the NBA and Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook named his organization after his favorite motto, "Why not?" This motto teaches everyone to say why not when they have something challenging to accomplish. He also teaches the kids to stay strong and never give up on their dreams. My Bar Mitzvah theme ties in around basketball and the NBA. I have a lot of respect for the commitment and hard work that the players show every day, both on and off the court, as well as how generous they are by giving both their time and money to the communities in which they play. Now, I would like to take a moment to thank a couple of very important people. First of all, I'd like to thank my tutor, Johnny, for teaching me all the important parts of my service, like my Torah and Haftorah portions and all of my important prayers. I would also like to thank all of my rabbis for being there when I needed help and for making sure I felt prepared before I came up on the bima today. I would also like to thank my brothers, Benjamin and Joshua, for helping me to stay confident and tolerating me when I practice. I would also like to thank my mom and dad for making this day possible and making sure I was always on track and didn't get behind with my tutoring. Lastly, I would like to thank all my family and friends for attending from near and far to help make this day very special. Shabbat Shalom.
Sammy, you led us so beautifully in the study of Torah today and in our service, and we are proud of you for that. You did that not only in the way in which you led us with confidence and being prepared as you were for this day, but in coming to understand something larger than the meaning of the words literally as they were written in Torah. You spoke in your words earlier, in fact, that those words should not be taken literally. In fact, when Torah is interpreted in such a way, it minimizes, it diminishes the richness of its lessons for us. And so our tradition throughout the ages has not only permitted, but encouraged the idea that we should probe deeper for understanding, bring our own best of our heart and our souls to those words, and try to bring the meaning of those words into our lives and to our experiences. The Torah portion from the section of Deuteronomy known as Akev, from which you read today, begins with some very important words. It reminds the people of Israel, even before they are about to undertake the great challenges before them, it reminds them that they are part of a covenant made by God with all those who came before them. It reminds them that through that covenant they are connected to all of those generations as if they themselves were standing at Sinai. It reminds them that that covenant goes back to their own experience, even before that, to their parents and their grandparents, and even before that, all the way back to the first words of the covenant spoken by God to Abraham. Sammy, today, as you read from Torah, as you took your place of responsibility among our people, you were very much indeed demonstrating that sense of that covenant, that enduring covenant that is more than about this Shabbat morning, but that connects you through time and through the ages and in different lands and different places to those who came before you. And we are reminded by that covenant of our responsibility to carry that forward, not only once in reading Torah, but in the ways that we study and learn and live and lead with our values in our community, in our circles of friends and family, and beyond in the wider world. That covenant, that brit, is an enduring promise made by God, but one that requires renewal with each generation, with each person, and indeed within each person, with each new day. So as you have so beautifully demonstrated your commitment to that covenant on this day, our hope and our prayer for you is that you will continue to renew your ideas, your values, and your understanding of Torah through your learning, that you will take those values into your life and express them in your words and in your deeds, and that in so doing, each and every day, you will be renewing that sense of covenant in which you take your place on this special day. So with that hope and with that prayer, I now ask you, the congregation, to please rise as Sammy and I go before the open ark, and as I ask God's blessing upon him. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmorecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichonecha. May God's grace and light ever shine upon you. Sa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence ever be with you in abundant years of good health and fulfillment, laughter and love, and peace. Please be seated.
This is the third time we have stood up here. So long. Okay, in this very same spot. To read a speech written for each of our boys on their Bar Mitzvah day. Hold on, okay, that was it, okay. Hold on, okay. Let's see. It is hard to believe that we are here yet again, trying to find the right words to express the pride and emotions that we feel today. Knowing that this is the last time we will do this is bittersweet. Sammy is the youngest, the baby brother, who is finally getting his turn to celebrate his Bar Mitzvah.
Third time's the charm, a well-known expression that describes exactly how we felt the day Sammy was born. From the moment you were born, we knew something was different. You were such an easy baby, and we were not used to that. You were happy and always content. Now this was a good thing, because you were born into an active family. Benjamin was 7 and Joshua was 4. We were always on the go, which meant so were you. You adapted to this new life and lack of schedule. No problem. This ability to be adaptable and easygoing would serve you well over the years. Being the youngest in the family was not always easy. You got dragged along to all kinds of activities and didn't get much say in anything. but you never complained. You were always happy to be with your brothers and proud of their accomplishments. You have learned a lot from your brothers, but you have taught them many things in return. You are generous beyond measure, always quick with a compliment, and fiercely loyal to your family and friends. This is exactly why we look at you today and still feel the same way we did on the day you were born. Third time's a charm. Our third born who was still just as easygoing and content as you were 13 years ago.
Your Torah portion today speaks about the importance of believing in yourself, even if you are uncertain of the outcome. This is an appropriate Torah portion for your Bar Mitzvah. You are not afraid to take chances, even when you don't know how something will turn out. Sometimes it has not turned out how you expected, but it never stops you from trying again. You are determined and keep trying because you always say you have nothing to lose by trying. Your Torah portion also speaks about looking out for others and protecting them. You have such a kind and gentle spirit and are drawn to those who seem to need a friend. You are patient, kind, and you do not judge. These qualities are just some of the reasons why you make us proud every day. You are an honest person with a strong moral character that will serve you well throughout your life. You have worked so hard preparing to become a Bar Mitzvah today. 8 years of Sunday school, 3 years of Hebrew school, 7 months of Bar Mitzvah tutoring, and countless hours of participation in temple activities. Our hope is that you take all you have learned, along with your strong Jewish values, and use that knowledge towards making the world a better place. In the eyes of Judaism today, you are considered a man. You are ready and more than capable of taking on additional responsibility and eagerly accept your new role within the Jewish community. However, in our eyes, you are still just our sweet little Sammy, who is growing up way too fast. Sorry.
Although today is a memorable day all on its own, it is made even more special because of the building in which we sit, beautiful and historic Plum Street Temple. Plum Street Temple holds a very important place in our hearts. We have celebrated so many life cycle events here, and it seems that our list keeps growing. Our wedding, the consecration of all 3 boys, Benjamin's Bar Mitzvah and confirmation, Joshua's Bar Mitzvah and confirmation, and now Sammy's Bar Mitzvah will be added to the list. This sacred place holds so many of our cherished memories and hopefully many more to come. All of these memories have been made even more special because we have always been surrounded by family and friends. Whether you have been with us to celebrate all 3 of our boys' Bar Mitzvahs, or this is your first one, we are so happy to have you here. We would like to thank each and every one of you for joining our family today to celebrate Sammy on his very special Bar Mitzvah day. Shabbat Shalom.
Gratefully, we thank you for the joyous privilege of seeing our grandson attain this milestone. On this day, cherished dreams and hopes are fulfilled. On this day, new dreams and new hopes are born. We pray that your protecting and loving care will accompany him wherever he goes and in all he does. Help him to become all that he is capable of being. Give him strength to do all the good things that are within his reach. Keep him loyal to the best that he has been shown, and to the noblest Jewish teaching he has been taught. May his deeds find favor in the eyes of others and be worthy of your blessings. Amen.
This time I'd like to invite all of Sammy's extended family, all of his relatives, to turn in our prayer book to page 89, page 89B. And I'd like to ask all of the relatives if you would please rise as we join together in this family prayer. O God of life, we rise before you in gratitude, privileged to celebrate together this passage in our family's life. We stand before the Torah, your sheltering tree of life that enriches the mind and nourishes the heart, giving meaning to our lives. Bless Sammy with a life deeply rooted in the wisdom of this sacred heritage. We rise before you in thanksgiving. Renew us with family bonds enriched by truth and trust, forgiveness and faithfulness. Guide Sammy and sustain us all with family love strong enough to bridge the miles and the years. We stand before you, O God, joining our prayers with those of this congregation. For when we share our hopes, they are strengthened, and when we share our joys, they are enriched. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu, l'azman hazeh. We give thanks to you, O God, who shares with us the joy of life, of love, and of time that we celebrate today. Amen. Mazel tov to each of you. Please be seated. Sammy, it is with a great deal of pleasure on this day that I have the privilege of presenting unto you this certificate of Bar Mitzvah that will always be a reminder to you that on this Shabbat Ekev, this Shabbat in which we read from the Torah portion known as Ekev, that you led us with such confidence and with such meaning in our service today. It will be a reminder of all that you've accomplished and learned and the insight gained as you worked toward this special moment in your life. And I'm also pleased to return to you your completed Sha'arei Kehillah Gates of Community booklet, those activities, those mitzvot that you have been undertaking in order to make real those Jewish values of Torah and of our tradition in your everyday life. So we're very proud of you for that as well, and we wish you well.